History is not written in ink, it is carved in the scars of the earth. For thousands of years, empires rose like tides, claiming they were eternal. But even the greatest oceans meet a shore they cannot cross. We talk of history as a collection of dates, but it was a collection of heartbeats. Between the clashing steel stood the unconquered. They did not just survive the battle, they were the battle. Today, they return to tell you how they broke the world. Look at me, they called me a boy king when I crossed the Hellespont. They thought the Persian king Darius, with his million-man army, would crush my spirit. At Gaugamela, the dust was so thick I could not see the sun. I needed an opening. The world has known many kings, but few who never tasted the bitterness of defeat. Meet the sword of the sands and the last Roman, Khalid ibn al-Walid. In over 50 battles against the greatest superpowers of his age, he never lost. At Yarmouk, he moved his men like a single hand, breaking the spine of the Roman East in a single decade. He was the unconquered blade of the sands, a storm that the empires could not weather. But even as empires crumbled, one man's genius held back the darkness for a century. Belisarius, sent to rebuild an empire that had forgotten how to fight. With only a handful of men, he took back the West. Through clever traps and indomitable will, he defeated armies 10 times his size. He was the proof that one mind can hold the line. Betrayed and left with nothing, they could take his gold, but they could never take his victory. The world has known many kings, but few who never tasted the bitterness of defeat. Meet the sword of the sands and the last Roman, Yi Sun Sin. With no support and only 13 ships left to face 300, he refused to yield. They told him to surrender. He replied, "I still have 12 ships." He crushed their hulls against the very current of the sea. 23 battles, 0 defeats. He is the wall that the ocean could not wash away. Alexander, Khalid, Belisarius, Yi. Different lands, different gods, but one shared truth. Empires are built by many, but they are held together by the iron will of the unconquered. Brute force conquers cities, but genius conquers history. Meet the architect of ruin and the bane of Hannibal. Subutai, the shadow that followed the sun. He directed armies across 2 continents before the world had maps. He fought 65 pitched battles and won them all. He didn't just defeat empires, he dismantled them. While others fought for glory, he fought for math, and the math never lied. But in the West, another young wolf rose to hunt the greatest predator Rome had ever seen. Scipio Africanus. He studied his enemy until he became him. He did the impossible. He defeated Hannibal. He never lost a battle because he never fought the enemy's strength. He fought their mind. The sword can be broken, but the mind is invincible. Who is your greatest strategist? Knowledge is the sharpest blade. Titans of battle fight with the mind. Meet the master of strategy and the undefeated king, Sun Tzu. He never fought a battle he hadn't already won in his mind. He turned war into an art form. He won 13 campaigns without losing a soldier. Subduing the enemy without fighting was his supreme art. While others studied strength, he studied the void. And there, he found victory. But from Macedonia, a young king rose to turn theory into an empire that touched the ends of the earth. Alexander the Great, undefeated in 15 years, he broke the concept of limits. He was the spearhead of a new world. To him, the earth was a prize to be taken. One wrote the rules, the other conquered the world. Who is the ultimate strategist? The battlefield is a game of shadows. To win, one must see what others cannot. Meet the master of adaptability and the sword of Allah, Julius Caesar. He didn't just command legions, he conquered destiny. He turned a siege into a tactical masterpiece. At Alesia, he built 2 walls to trap an army and block its allies. He fought on 2 fronts and crushed them both. He wrote his legend in blood and ink. His speed was his weapon, his mind, the forge. But from the shifting sands of the East, a commander emerged who would never know the taste of defeat. Khalid ibn al-Walid, the sword of Allah. He outfought 2 empires at once, crossing deserts deemed impassable. He remained undefeated in over 50 battles. He didn't just win, he redesigned the desert battlefield. One crossed the Rubicon, the other the desert. Who is the ultimate conqueror? I left a name that will outlast the stars. Will yours?